Hi everyone, welcome to this little live stream here. So hopefully today there is no feedback going on because yesterday I was online and it was really embarrassing because I forgot to close the browser window where I opened my own stream and I had the audio on, also the desktop audio, so it was streaming, getting my voice into kind of a feedback. Nothing happened, no ears were damaged, but it was pretty embarrassing because this is like a total noob mistake. So I was really surprised. I think I should cut out my face, from that because I recorded it to my disk. So I should. Good morning. Hey, how are you? So I quickly wanted to take the opportunity and do a little live stream. I mean, usually I would have recorded a video on my own, but it feels always a little bit because funny when you sit in your own studio and you work in any way and you have no contact with the outer world. So I decided from now on that if I even do a little production video of my own libraries, I just do it live because, hey, you get a good morning or something like that, from the channel. So I quickly wanted to introduce you to a new little percussion library. And it's actually, besides the trailer djembe I did, this is the first session, which was really, let's say the first recording session which took place actually in India, and we recorded 2 traditional Indian drums. So that's why I decided to call this release Indian Drums Volume 1, because you never know. Maybe there might be something new coming up soon too. And so we recorded 2 traditional Indian drums, the dolki, which is a small dholak, and the pakavai. I hope I pronounced that right. And first of all, as with all my libraries, if you click and drag the GUI, you can change it with a mouse. Looks pretty fancy. And you can also do that with a mod wheel. And the only thing which this really does is, as with all my libraries, that it's controlling a cutoff filter. So back to the drums, we recorded basically these 2 drums. They are 2-headed, so you can record them or play them from both sides, and that's what we try to do. Yeah, definitely. You can never have too many drums, especially snares. But yeah, I know. I mean, I'm probably getting around every percussion library I see and like, because you can get so many colors. And it's actually something which I never understand, that so many people say, hey, I got, for example, Saga. How does it compare to Damage or, Los Angeles Modern Percussion or anything? And I just think, why don't you just layer it all and make it your own custom sound? So let me just quickly go through what we were able to record from all these, from these 2 drums. Just going to play through the hits a little bit here, starting from the low one. And also you have to be aware that there are also dead hits from the library. So when you hear the next, you need these dead hits, kind of these, let's say, ghost hits, to come up with all the musical phrases you usually do. So all the damping and everything, you need that in order to get some to get some phrases done. It's a great library, actually, Saga. It's really a great library. You will definitely enjoy it. So I'm just going through the patches here. So we try to capture really some nuances when you just hear usually some. So you have something going on which is not just more, because we recorded also 4 velocity layers, so we decided to also record different nuances, because you can really hit that softly, but you have this, kind of a, let's say, this sharp hit. some soft hit at the very end, really like a dead hit. But I mean, to really get this probably at the end, let's just, compose a little bit around. And also, as I mentioned before, sometimes it's cool to just have this cutoff filter going on. If you want to dull down a little bit of some, or maybe a phrase in general, there is too much, because these drums are really beautiful. There's a lot of melodic stuff going on. So you can, dampen a little bit some of these high pinks. Okay, that's one of the drums. So quickly, just wanted to go over and check let you know the product side for a second. Actually, I can just copy that into the channel, so just in case you're interested, to quickly be able to load it. So just some details. You just need at least Kontakt 5.8.1. You get full access to the WAV files, although it doesn't make a lot of sense to play these sound snippets or import these at WAV files, because there is a lot of round robin stuff going on, which is basically the same hit, but they just make sense, when you play them. Another information would be that we recorded not just 4 velocity layers, so like 4 different ones, but also each of these 4 different ones got 8 round robin and round robin notes or alternative notes, and we split these up to 2 keys. So all of these 8 round robin notes are split into 4 for each key. So what you hear is actually 4 round robin or 4 alternating sounds split on 2 keys, so makes 8 velocity, 8 round robin. And actually, it's not round robin; it's random. So if you just hit one key, they are, of course, all quite similar, but it's always different hits. And you don't have it when you use round robin on random robin. Yeah, I created something new. When you use round robin, there is actually sometimes it happens that you have some kind of a pattern going, because maybe there is one beat, it's a little bit, sticks out of the others. So you have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can hear kind of a pattern, and this won't happen when you have random. You never hear some kind of pattern unless you go really. Okay, so this is some of these technical facts. The library in general is pretty small. It's 221 megabytes only. And as I said before, you have access to the WAV file. So even if you want, you can map it, to your own sampler if you want this. There's a little bit of description going on. Actually, I'm recording the video right now. Oh, we actually have a nice review already. And yeah, this is, so I should also mention the price. This is just 29 euros. And I mean, it's just, this is why it's that affordable. It's just an easy to use library. It's very small. It's very targeted. It's not like a 30 gigabyte percussion library or something when you're just looking for some traditional Indian drums. So I just want to, narrow it down, really focus on each of these instruments. So let's load the Pfeffer for a second, and I hope I pronounced that right. And if I forget some information, please let me know if you need anything to know. So let's hear some of these hits from the Pfeffer. So it's basically the same, not the same, but a similar two-headed drum, but it's a little bit bigger than the Dolky. So therefore you can create some kind of more practice my 16th hits a little bit better. I just opened something. And I have to admit, these two layers here are very ooh-ish in the sense of frequencies. But they can sound pretty cool because you can use them as, let's say, melodic instruments. And, you know, change the tuning. Or even an octave down. So they sound really mighty. And of course you need to EQ it a little bit. But I decided to leave it in there because you never know how much you need to fill something. So it basically behaves like when you record traditional toms on a drum set. They always sound very thumpy and have some weird noises going on. You always have to cancel out. So you get all the dead hits and some kind of phlegms. So I should try to, let me just copy that track and let me just name this one here. Quickly, let's name it Pack and duplicate this track and load the Dolkey again and just, come up with some tiny little groove. Let me name this right. Let's try to come up with something so you can hear, you get a quick overview on how they sound when you combine them. So I just don't have anything in mind. Let me just record kind of a basic groove. I just have to make it a little bit faster. So let's input a tempo track and set this to, just in case if you didn't know this, there is a little symbol here. Oh, I'm so sorry. I forgot to change to my GUI view here. So you never seen the GUI actually. So let me just move the mod wheel once again so you can see it in all its glory. Man, I definitely have to get used by, switching the scenes. So you see that all right. So let me just try to come up with some little groove here. And actually, I just wanted to change the tempo, and I just wanted to let you know something about Cubase, just in case if you don't know this. There is a little symbol up here when you can say divide track list. And when you hit this, you have this little divider, and then you can put your tempo track and everything you need, or you always need on top, you can put on here. So assuming you want to have let's say a signature track, so you can have both of these things up here. And if you scroll, assuming you have like several tracks going on, like 30, 40 tracks, you can scroll and this thing stays always visible on top unless you scroll around above here. So just in case you didn't know that. Let's change the tempo, make it a little bit faster. Let's make it 117. And let's come up with a, just a little bit of something. Go in here and change the grid to 16th notes. Well, maybe we just have 16th notes at the end, so we just quantize these a little bit and then work on the velocity a little bit more. Let's set it to a loop here. Oops. Okay, and now let's put a little bit of a cue something, because in this case I don't want to have too much of this dull note going on. Let's get rid of a little bit of that bass-ish. Let's put a low cut in here. No, that's okay. So we used, okay. Let's just come up with something. Oops. Just get off repeat mode or cycle mode. No, wrong key. Okay, so we got kind of a basic groove. So let's clean this up a little bit and let's come up with something. And also let me just come up with some, let me just mute these for a second and introduce some of these dead notes and ghost notes. Sorry, at the mod will closed. So we have these above here at the C4. Okay, so let's use all of these. The 2. And use these 2 up here on the G and the A. And these 2. Why not? let's come up with something from the Dolgi. Okay. A little bit wacky. More like this. And let's use some let's just play this. And for these beats, let's use one of these notes. Maybe another way around. Let's change some more notes here. Let's put the 1 to "You're Not the One." Let's make it a little bit more interesting, so we have a little bit of more variation going on, because I find this really important. Then even if you just come up with some, some basic groove for a composition, it's always cool to not just copy like the same bar or the same 2 bars over and over again, because there is so much music out there which just doesn't care about the actual arrangement. In this sense, it's just blocks of 2 or 4 bars, and they all stitch together. And sometimes there is something missing, something is being added towards the end, but it's always the same thing. And it makes sense, of course, when you have EDM, techno, when you have rap music and all these things. It totally makes sense because you just want to have this vibe all the time. But if you especially want to record or working for, whatever, trailer, license music, or games music, or you just want to tell a story, movie music, whatever, you just have to have a little bit of, liveliness, let's say, something like refreshing going on, so you don't repeat it all the time. So speaking of that, we still have to work a little bit on that upper groove, but we're getting there. So also I muted these. Let me just bring these back. Okay, and just let's work a little bit more on let's use these for this more ghostish note here. Just solo. So it really adds up when you have this little one. drives things a little bit more. Also, let's copy that part and then see if we can get something going on, which is a little bit more, you know, changing the pattern a little bit, especially towards the last quarter note here and the last bar, I mean. So we can make it a full we should maybe like this. And then build it up a little bit more. That was just one of these, and then let's work on the dolky a little bit more. Okay, let's add a few 16th notes here. There to create a little bit of okay, it sounds pretty good, I think. Let's listen to this. I should also unsolo this. Unsolo. So also let's do a little experiment to have the lower Pakavai duplicate this. This is like a, you know, funny trick. Let's call it duplicate. And what I'm doing now is simply just doing a simple trick of just getting this down like a 7 semitones and see how this sounds. Well, let's make it an octave. Sounds pretty funny. And what's make this even more interesting is when we just have, let's pick all of these notes and add some random, let's add like 8 random ticks. And just, so let me just play this before we add the, so let me just play this without the random thingy. And now let me just quantize that with the randomized ticks. So you hear that there are more flames going on. Let's actually do the same with the upper Pakavai and also with the Dolki below here. Let's see how this sounds. I think a few things drifted off. Let me just check these. Yeah, you have to be careful here because some notes, I just have to put this one command, which I always forget. It's like saying freeze quantize, because this is what many, I think this should work now. Let me just try it again. Yes. So what you do with, just in case you don't know this, what you're doing with freeze quantize, actually I also fucked up another one here. Yes. So let me just go back. So let me just do this again and do this freeze quantize thing again. What it basically does, I mean, many people get this the wrong way. When they built something or constructed some part and then suddenly they quantize, and then there is one thing where it's clear that it's on the 1 or on the 8th or, you know, whatever. Let's say a bar, you have 1, 2, and you have one hit on the 2 end. Or let's say the 3 end, and you just quantize it, and then it suddenly drifts off to the 3 or the 4 or the 2 or whatever. So, but this is what initially was the note where you played it before you quantized it for the first time. And this is when almost every sequencer recalls the very initial position. So what you have to do when you want to, you know, quantize it from these new positions, you say freeze quantize first. And when you then hit quantize with, let's say, random 8 ticks, it always stays around the same area. It doesn't drift off anymore. So maybe just in case you didn't know this, this is just a little hint to prevent notes from drifting off to the initial first time they were created. Oh, it sounds so beautiful, but you know what I mean, hopefully. So that they now are getting manifested, let's so to say, on this new position, and then you can quantize these things here. So let me just, in the meantime, I just set all of these with 8 ticks. So let's listen how this sounds. And let's, you know, at the end, I mean, we could go on forever by doing this. Let me just quickly move this channel over here. Stereo out. I wanted to have over here. So let's just put this in a group. I think it's better like, oh, I had them selected. So I can say add group channel to selected tracks, configuration stereo, create outside folder, let's say Indian drums, add track. So we created a group track. Let's do a little bit of just a little bit of tiny mixing. Actually, I have to. Okay, so my voice stays unmuted. So let's add some compression, tiny little bit. Maybe have a mastering. That's enough actually. And let's put this all in a little bit of beautiful reverb. So I'm just quickly, I actually got this new reverb. I really love it. The Seventh Heaven. It's just a small version and I just really love it. It just sounds good on everything. Hey Terracin, thanks for following me. So let me just see how this sounds. Let me actually load different hole. Let's load a plate. Let's load the sun plate. There is actually one which sounds pretty cool on percussion. Let me just find this. So we could try the scoring stage. Sounds pretty cool. There is one actually. Where are you? Just wanted to find this because, oh, large wooden, right. So of course you have to, find these differences inside the mix. So this is as like, maybe another trick or hint, but I follow this lots of times when I try to compress something, equalize it, and generally just sound processing. I always do it in the view of the entire mix, so not just just for the individual instrument, because maybe that reverb sounds pretty cool, or maybe we can set up one of these beautiful long so this may sound pretty interesting, but inside the mix of whatever this is, maybe an orchestral track, maybe some a track using world instruments, so you get more of an ethno track. It may sound not really good, so you have to come up always with the settings which make sense for the mix in general. And you will also realize or notice that some reverb things don't do anything, whatever. Oh, I don't like Origin. You never close down. Sorry, I just got distracted by this little window up here. So so this is basically this little library. As I said before, let me just pull it up again. It's just available. It's 29 euros. Maybe I will, or maybe we will, or not maybe, we will probably continue this series of these Indian drums. There is also some new library coming up, but this time not from India, but another country, another continent. And but I will let you know about this one. So I really hope that you enjoyed this tiny little walkthrough, and thank you for watching. And as always, you can find these videos on my YouTube channel, just in case you missed something, just in case you want to re-catch something. If you have any questions, please feel free to hit me up. I would be happy if you follow me on YouTube, subscribe to my channel, or even follow me on Twitch, because I will most likely, or that's basically the time I will settle, something around Monday, probably like 8, 9, 10 p.m. something, Central European time. So, okay, so thank you for watching. Have a great day. Have a productive day. And take care wherever you are. And see you next time. Bye, and thanks for watching.